You're watching Cayuga Bytes.
Welcome to Cayuga Bytes. My name is Mike Perry, and joining me today is Josh Hart.
Corinne Stevens wrote an article in this week's Collegiate about the decorated tree in the college lobby that's been up since last December. The custodians at the college who were nice enough to put up the tree for the few people who still attend campus have been decorating the tree with various decorations for the different holidays. They put it up for Christmas last year, obviously, and then they put some hearts up for Valentine's Day, and now they have some St. Patrick's Day stuff up. You can see the picture of the tree with some of the St. Patrick's Day decorations on the front page of this week's issue. And we would like to just quickly thank the custodians for being very kind and generous to put up that wonderful tree, because it's a very nice thing for the few people that still attend campus, and it really, I feel like it just really brings a lot of happiness to the campus, and a little bit of happiness is something that is always needed, especially in times like these.
Yeah, it's the small things. Like, they didn't have to do that, right? So I just really think it goes unnoticed, but it shouldn't be overlooked. So I'm glad that we could spotlight that, and again, a big thank you to the custodians.
Big thanks to them for that. Definitely.
CCC student Kaylee, a tutor at the Center for Academic Success, wrote an article for the Collegiate introducing us to two other tutors, Laura Armstrong and Gabriella Charat. You can read about that in this week's Collegiate.
So last week, I attended a Women's History Month celebration event that was done as part of the Cayuga Diversity series. The series has been hosted by Dr. Jody Meriday, and for last week's presentation, she gave a presentation on the history of women's rights. And in that presentation, she encouraged women to empower themselves by doing things such as putting a part of all their earnings into a savings account, become a parent only when they're 100% ready, and make a career out of doing what they enjoy doing most. She also gave a bit of history on some of the famous female historical figures from the past to the present day. And she even ended it with a famous quote by New York Times author Chris Carr, which is, "A strong woman stands up for herself, and a stronger woman stands up for everyone else." It was a very empowering presentation, and you can read more about that in this week's Collegiate issue.
We also have two interesting opinion pieces in this week's issue from students in Greg Sevick's English class at CCC. Ashley Calkins writes about why everyone should get the COVID vaccine, and Bailey Gauger tells us why guinea pigs make great comfort companions.
And you can read both of those on page 2 of this week's Collegiate issue. 3 of CCC's sports programs are coming back soon. They are Cayuga's baseball, softball, and men's soccer. And now, Mike is going to give us more info on the upcoming opening schedule, which you can read more about in this week's Collegiate.
Thanks, Josh. Cayuga's baseball, softball, and men's soccer programs start practicing this month, with student athletes and coaches participating in the college's COVID-19 health measures and additional safety protocols prior to scheduled contests. Games will start in late March for the baseball and softball programs and early April for men's soccer. All 3 teams will play home contests at Falcon Park in the city of Auburn. Staff writer Pat Mahunik has an article in this week's Collegiate where he spoke with Dr. Ron Cantor about transgender athletes competing in their respective sports.
And you can read about that on the front page of this week's Collegiate.
Cayuga is fully embracing this transition, and even before Joe Biden signed the executive order, they were helping transgender athletes, recruiting them, making sure that they felt welcome here at Cayuga. Oh, next topic.
Going good.
How was your weekend?
Pretty good.
Stay inside or do anything fun?
Yeah, mostly stayed inside. working on stuff for, well, journalism and getting some other stuff done too.
Could you ever see yourself becoming a journalist? Or is it just kind of something you want to do for this course?
Um, I don't know if I don't know if like I can't guarantee that like journalism will like become like my full career, but it was definitely a fun thing to do for this semester and the semester before this one. And I mean, I get to be part of this show, so that's another plus to it.
What do you like more, radio or writing?
Um, I mean, I enjoy doing both, but I do think radio is a lot more fun, or at least when I did radio at a CCC for 2 years, it was a pretty fun experience. And writing is good too, but it's sometimes it can be a bit of a challenge. You have to know that you have to assure yourself that like what you're writing about is like something that is of your interest, because otherwise, right, if it's not something you're like, if it's not something of your interest, then it could be a bit of a struggle. But yeah,
like if you don't know what you're writing about, like if you don't do your research at the very least, right? Like it can be very difficult. So as much as like the writing, like the typing it all out is part of it, like planning is a big part of it too. People don't realize that,
Well, yeah. I mean that's that's part of the reason. Part of the reason why I've been really like enjoying doing like virtual event coverages for the Collegiate is I find those to be a lot more simple, because you just gotta be there to like observe the event and maybe record or something, and then just think about like what were like the main highlights of the event and just write about them.
I could see you as like an event reporter, if that makes sense.
I could see that too, possibly. Yeah.
I think you do a really good job of taking everything in and like being able to like describe what happened and who, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I could see that for you.
So yeah, I could see myself possibly as like a person, an event coverage person. Possibly.
Thanks for watching us here at Cayuga Bytes. If you want to come and join us, sing a song, recite a poem, do a dance, come try a bite at Cayuga Bytes.
Send us your stories at cayugabytes@gmail.com.
So that's it for today. Thanks for watching Cayuga Bytes. Got a thumbs up.
All right. Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
Josh, what would I do without you? If you get a clapping emoji, you know you did really well. On that note, thanks, Josh. That was horrible.